We've got Matt Markovich here. He's been covering, I mean, there's just been so much movement in Olympia. So what do we have going right now? Because you were not sure you would even be able to join us right now.
Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually listening to the Democratic leadership in one ear and hearing you guys in my other. So I can listen to how they're going to respond to what happened yesterday. This is the first time where it's actually a press conference, and so people are asking them questions, but I'm here sitting with you so I can help you hear. But awesome. I want to be able to say something that you didn't know that Senator Lovick did yesterday. You're talking about stolen cars. They tried to add, I'll go back into what happened, but Senator Lovick voted against an amendment that would have added stolen cars to the pursuit. All the Democrats said no. So he's saying that he had an opportunity to say, you could have chased after stolen cars in an amendment added to this bill, but he said he voted no. So I thought I'd just let you know that. It was his original bill and all this. But, yeah, what a day yesterday. So do you want to?
Well, the one thing, there's one thing that I want to give credit to someone who said something that I thought was pretty profound, and this was State Senator Mark Milosevich.
Human nature says one of the hardest things in life to do is admit when you've made a mistake. And I voted for this bill back in 2021. I think the unintended consequence, Mr. President, of our legislation in 2021 was that it became widely known that we were not going to pursue criminals. That has created a public safety challenge in the state of Washington.
Now, that was almost the most reasonable thing that I've heard.
Well, let me play. Can I put something live on right now?
Yeah.
Here, you want to get me live? Can you hear the?
Passed off the Senate floor. I haven't.
This is Speaker Jenkins asked if this is going to go through the House.
Consider here
right now.
There continues to be a very broad diversity of opinion about the elements of any pursuit bill within our caucus, and so I think we'll continue to move forward, looking to balance the concerns that people have. Like really looking at public safety broadly, right? Wanting to make sure that police have the tools to do their job, at the same time making sure that innocent people aren't killed by dangerous high-speed chases. So that's kind of the orientation I think that our caucus will have as it moves through committee work, is trying to achieve the right balance there.
So that was live right there.
Good job. Wow, great timing there. Look at that.
That Matt Markovich is a bad man. Good Lord.
So let me explain how important what she just said is.
Okay.
She is the person. It was a similar bill going through the House that we were all following. That's what we've been talking about for weeks. She decided yesterday, and the Democrats in the House, not to vote on it yesterday morning. And so what happened is, that's why it's so important for what she says, because she controls whether the bill goes to the vote at all.
Yeah.
So that was her. Finally, she's answering what's going to happen in this bill in the House. So what happened yesterday is that, like I was saying, she and the Democrats killed the bill in the House that we're talking about, basically the same pursuit bill. At 1 o'clock, surprisingly, without any notice, the Senate brought up this bill that's been dead for weeks that Montenegro killed, and never giving a hearing. They debated for an hour. At the exact same time, there was a rally on the steps of the Capitol asking for people just, hey, take a vote, put it to the floor so we ever have a debate on it. Coincidentally, or not coincidentally, they picked the 1 o'clock hour when this was going on at the Capitol steps. So the Senate heard it, and I found out this morning that the Democrats in their private caucus voted 15-14 to put the bill on the House floor. Montenegro voting against it. And it won by one vote by the Democrats, who control everything. They decided, okay, we're going to put it to a vote. Pull it out of the grave, put it on the floor, vote it, and it was by one vote. And then Montenegro, who killed it, modified it in an amendment to match the House, and then changed her vote to vote for it. And so this is all the dynamics inside the Senate.
Okay, so ultimately, though, we need to make real clear. I mean, now it's, resurrected in the Senate, but it still needs to pass the House.
That's correct. And what you heard there from Speaker Jenkins, I mean, this is how the sausage is made, right? So you just heard from Speaker Jenkins. Now she just killed basically a similar bill. You just heard her ask, what are you going to do now? Because the bill just got back to her from the Senate. The Senate basically said, okay, we're going to do our job for an hour, throw it back to the House. So now it's back in the House. I know it's all political stuff, but this is how it's made.
So what are the chances anything's going to pass on this?
Well, you heard that she is the person, whether she brings it to the floor, even if they modify it.
So nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed right now. Yeah. And but it's basically back to what we have. You can't chase stolen cars. You can't chase reckless drivers. You can basically just chase, if it goes through, people who are suspected of violent crimes. You know, we're the only state in the country that has the probable cause, which is a higher level of chase of a standard to chase somebody. Everybody else has reasonable suspicion. I know it gets into the weeds, but that's what we're talking about here.
You know what's interesting about this, Ursula? It's interesting hearing Senator John Lovick saying that he and others have been listening to the people and listening to what's being said, listening to what law enforcement has said. And I'm just curious who they're really listening to from the beginning and even now. Because I say that to say this. Do you know how many people that I know personally that's like, yeah, gee, I don't want the police going after these criminals, these suspects? Zero.
Yeah, I don't know anyone
I don't
either.
know not one person. Now, somebody could say, gee, you don't know a lot of people. I kind of do. I'm in the community. I'm out here. I don't just live elsewhere and talk about this stuff. I'm out here. I don't know one person personally that is against this. Who are they listening to make this such a thing? This is what people get.
They're listening to people who.
They're listening to politics.
Or they're also listening to some people who have had loved ones killed in pursuits. I mean, or injured in pursuits.
No lie about it. That needs to get better.
Yes.
No doubt. And my heart goes out to those families that have lost loved ones. But in this is a pure case of when people sit back and say, this is where you care more about politics than people. This is why your boy could never be a politician. Because of this reason right here. Because I know if you had a one-on-one conversation with a lot of the people that's voting against this, they'll look you right in your eyes. And I guarantee you, behind closed doors, they saying one thing and they voting on another, like you just came on here and talked about.
Can I say one thing? Because you played that cut from Mark Mullet. And he made a good point by saying, before all this, cities and counties had different pursuit policies. And you needed an Excel spreadsheet if you're a criminal to figure out, if I go to Seattle, they're not going to chase me. In Tacoma, they will. That kind of a thing. When the word came out that they is a universal, they're not chasing anybody, it gave a green light. This is him saying it. It gave a green light to criminals, an unintended consequence of what they had passed. It gave everybody across the state realizing, you know what, that cop, he just pulled me over. He's not going to chase me now. So he also blamed us talking about it and raising it to this level of a debate so the criminals know, hey, they're not going to chase us. But he also, some of the Democrats said, thank the news media and talk radio like this because we are talking about it. And that put pressure on the Democrats to actually do something yesterday. So there's the double-edged sword.
I want the Democrats to come on the show. I want all the Democrats that voted against it to come on the Gee and Ursula Show. Let me holler at you for a second. Seriously. I mean, come on, Ursula. Like this is the show. This ain't no left and right. This ain't Dems and Republicans. This is straight up people over politics. The vast majority of people want this to get right.
Well, and I think when you see something like this where Democrats are also jumping on it and saying, wait, we need to make these changes, if they leave the legislature and if they leave this session without having addressed something in this, it'll be a huge disappointment to a lot of people.